Hello friends, how are you? Hope you all are good and enjoying the learning. In this video lecture, I am going to talk you about the polynomials. So polynomials, as I told you in the previous video lecture, based on the polynomial, that is very important for you throughout whole of your academic career. So please learn this topic very interestingly and carefully, because this is going to help you a lot in the future as well as in the present academic course. Friends, in this video lecture we will be learning about the degrees of the polynomials, and there are different types based on the degree, like linear polynomial, quadratic polynomial, cubic polynomial, and how will you find their zeros, and what are the relationship between the zeros and their coefficients of the polynomial, and how you can represent the zeros of the polynomial on the graph. That means you will be able to learn about the graphical representation of the zeros of the polynomial or the roots of a polynomial. So that is going to be very interesting for you, and also you will be able to learn how to construct a quadratic equation if you are given their zeros, their roots, and you will also learn about the relationship between the zeros and the coefficients, as I told you. So friends, stay tuned throughout whole of this video lecture. Myself Virendra Kumar, and you are watching Sai Academy channel. Friends, if you have not subscribed this Sai Academy channel, please subscribe it right now, and like the video and share this video with your friends and classmates, because this contribution by you motivates us. This gives us energy to provide you the video lecture, because we do hard work in bringing such type of video lecture, and this contribution by you, that is sharing, liking and subscription of this channel, motivate us, gives booster to us in providing such type of video lecture. So friends, let's start the video lecture. As you have already studied in the class 9th, which I covered in the previous video lecture about the polynomials and their basics. So I will provide the link for that video in the description box, and you can also enjoy that video by clicking the I button on the above right corner of this screen. So in this class 10th chapter 2, we will cover about the further details regarding the polynomials. So already you know that what are the polynomials. So polynomials is nothing but the addition or subtractions of different terms, that may be in one variable, that may be two variables, or that may be many variables, depending upon the situations. So also we have covered that what is the degree of a polynomial. So degree of a polynomial, as you know, that is the highest power of the variable in the polynomial, and also the exponent of the variables in polynomials should be whole number. So the exponent or power of variable should not be other than the whole number. So for example, this is a polynomial of degree 3, because the highest power in this expression is 3, and in this the highest power of the variable u is 6. So the degree of this algebraic expression is 6, and these all powers of the variable is whole number. So this is a polynomial. Suppose this kind of expressions, so you can see that this expression can be written as x minus 1 to the power minus 1, and this square root x plus 2 is nothing but x to the power 1 by 2 plus 2. So you can see that the power of these variables are not whole number, they are integer or rational number, so these are not polynomials. So you know that for any algebraic expression to be a polynomial, their exponent must be whole number, that is their power of variable should be 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. Okay, now a polynomial of degree 1 is called the linear polynomial, a polynomial of degree 2 is called quadratic polynomial, and a polynomial of degree 3 is called cubic polynomial. And the polynomial having one term only is called monomial, and polynomial called having two terms are called binomial, and so on. Now most general form of the cubic polynomial is C, ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d, where a should not be 0, otherwise the degree of the polynomial will change. So coefficient of highest power of variable in given algebraic expression or polynomial should not be 0. If it is 0, then that term will vanish and the degree of the polynomial will change. That's why this should not be 0. Okay, mind it. Now consider the polynomial px is equal to x square minus 3x minus 4. Now we will check the zeros of the polynomial. So putting x is equal to 2 in this polynomial, we get p at 2 is equal to minus 6. So that means x is equal to 2 or x minus 2. This x minus 2 is the, if you divide this polynomial by this x minus 2, will get the remainder p minus 6. So this is not 0 of the polynomial. For any polynomial to be 0, the value of x should yield the polynomial to be 0. So if you put x is equal to 0 in this, we will get the value of px at x is equal to 0 is equal to minus 4. Now if px is polynomial in x and k is any real number, then the value obtained by replacing x by k in px is called the value of px at x is equal to k. So this is general way of telling the statement what is the meaning of that. That means if you want to get the value of polynomial for any given real number k, so we'll call that this the polynomial at given x is equal to k, that is p at k. Okay, and it is denoted by like this. Okay, now if we put p at 4, that means if you put x is equal to 4 in this polynomial, the polynomial becomes 0. If we put x is equal to minus 1, the polynomial also becomes 0. That means x plus 1 and x minus 4 are the factors of this polynomial. That means they are the zeros of the polynomial. That means minus 1 and 4 are the zeros of the polynomial. These are called the zeros of this quadratic expression x square minus 3x minus 4. So these are all the recap of the previous lecture. Now let us start the new concepts, that is, if we are considering any quadratic equations, suppose, or any linear, firstly we will consider the linear equation. Suppose you are considering the linear equation px is equal to ax plus b, and that is equal to 0. So suppose px is equal to ax plus b is equal to 0, then this becomes the polynomial equation. So if you want to find the value of p at any x is equal to k, then you put the value of x is equal to k, and if this is satisfying this polynomial, then the value of k will be given by k is equal to minus b by a. That means zeros of the linear polynomial ax plus b is given by minus b by a, and this is nothing but, if you closely inspect the situation, this is equal to the ratio of the minus of coefficient minus of constant term divided by the coefficient of x. So see this. So the zeros of this polynomial, linear polynomial, is given by the minus of this constant term and divided by the coefficient of this x, that is a. So for any given general linear polynomial, you can find the zeros of the polynomial by putting the value of constant term and coefficient of x. You can easily find it. So this tells that there is a relationship between its coefficients and the zeros of the polynomial. Correct? Now we will study about the geometrical meaning of the zeros of a polynomial. What is the geometrical meaning of zeros of a polynomial? That means how you can represent the zeros of a polynomial on the graph. So we have studied that if the real number k is zeros of the polynomial, that means if it will satisfy the polynomial. That means if you put x is equal to k in the polynomial, that polynomial becomes equal to 0 at x is equal to k. So why are the zeros of a polynomial so important? What is the meaning? The meaning of these zeros of the polynomial is important because these are nothing but they are the roots of the polynomial equations, and we want to represent the value of roots graphically. So let's learn how we can represent the zeros of the polynomial on the graph. So let us consider first a linear polynomial ax plus b, where a should not be equal to 0. So as you have studied in the previous class, which I already have covered in the previous video lecture, that the graph of y is equal to ax plus b is a straight line. That means y is equal to nothing but y is equal to ax plus b represents a straight line. So you can verify this. If you put x is equal to, suppose, minus 2, you will get y is equal to minus 1. If you put x is equal to 2 in this equation, you will get in this equation that you will get y is equal to 7. That means you are getting 2 points, minimum 2 points, minus 2, minus 1, and 2 minus 7, 2 and 7. That means if this is a linear polynomial 2x plus 3, this is a straight line. Okay, so this line is straight and this is nothing but this linear polynomial, and we get the 2 points on this line. So we want to know the value of x for which y becomes 0. Then that value of x will give the zeros of this linear polynomial. Okay, so if we put x is equal to minus 3 by 2, then you will get y is equal to 0. So that means at x is equal to minus 3 by 2, that is minus 1.5. X is equal to minus 1.5 or minus 3 by 2, we get y is equal to 0 for this linear polynomial. That means this x is zeros of this linear polynomial, and we can represent this graphically. Okay. Thus the zeros of a polynomial 2x plus 3 is the x coordinate of the point where the graph of y is equal to 2x plus 3 intersects the x axis. So you can see that if this is x axis, this is y axis, so zeros of the polynomial is nothing but the value of y at y equal to 0. That means the value of y where it intersects the x axis. Value of y will be 0 only where it intersects x axis. Okay. So in other words, these zeros of this linear polynomial is nothing but the x coordinate of the point where the graph y is equal to 2x plus 3 intersect the x axis. So this is the representation. Now in general, if you take any linear polynomial ax plus b is equal to b where a is not equal to 0, the graph y is equal to ax plus b represents a straight line which it intersects the x axis at exactly one point. So mind it, any linear polynomial will intersect the x axis if it is given like this, y is equal to x plus b at single point of x axis. If it is quadratic polynomial, then it will at most intersect 2 points. That means sometimes it may be one point coinciding with the other point. That means for the quadratic polynomial, the value of zeros may be at most 2, and for the cubic polynomial, the value of zeros may be at most 3. So in this case, this is a linear polynomial, so value of 0 will be at most 1, and that will be given by the minus b by a 0. That means if you equate this equation to 0, this will give x is equal to minus b by a. So for y is equal to 0, this is the point. That means the point where y intersect the x axis, and that is the zeros of the polynomial. Correct? So in this way you can represent the zeros of the polynomial, or you can represent the value of x coordinate where y is equal to ax plus b intersect x axis. Now let us look for the geometrical meaning of a zero of quadratic polynomial. As I said that zeros of a quadratic polynomial will be at most 2. So let us consider this example. X square minus 3x minus 4 is a quadratic polynomial. To get its zeros, we will equate to 0. So this x square minus 3x minus 4 will be 0, and you will get the value of x for which this is 0. So we can solve this equation by x square minus 4x plus x minus 4 is equal to 0. That is x into x minus 4 plus x minus 4 is equal to 0. So we see that x plus 1 and x minus 4 is equal to 0. So x plus 1 and x minus 4 are two factors of this polynomial equation. That means we are having two zeros of this quadratic polynomial. First x is equal to minus 1 and second x is equal to 4. So we are having two zeros of this quadratic polynomial. So let us see how we can represent these zeros graphically. So for this, as already we know that there are two zeros of this quadratic polynomial, and we'll find other points for this quadratic polynomial by substituting different points, different value for x, and we'll get the different value of y. So let us put x is equal to -2, x is equal to -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. Correspondingly we'll get the values for y, and that means these are the points which are lying on this quadratic polynomial. Okay, but after close inspection we see that this -1, 0 and 4, 0 are the particular points for which the value of the polynomial becomes 0. That means these only 2 points are the zeros of the polynomial. That means for this x is equal to -1 and x is equal to 4, the polynomial is intersecting the x-axis. That means the polynomial intersects the x-axis at 2 points. Okay, so we can represent this. So this polynomial is intersecting at here and at here. So similarly you can do for other problem also, that by finding out the zeros and after substituting many values of x, and we'll find the corresponding value of y. We will plot the curve like this, and after that we can check where it is intersecting x-axis, and that intersection point by y will give the zeros of the polynomial. So this is the way of representation of the zeros of the polynomial on the graph. And this fact is true for any quadratic polynomial, that is the zeros of the quadratic polynomial ax square plus bx plus c, where a is not equal to 0, are precisely the x coordinates of points where the parabola representing this quadratic polynomial intersects the x-axis. So this quadratic polynomial is a parabola of one kind or other kind. It may be the inverted parabola or it may be non-inverted parabola. You can see in this. So zeros of a quadratic polynomial are the value of x coordinates where the polynomial intersects the x-axis. That's simple. Okay. Now let us discuss some detail, that the shape of the graph of this y is equal to x square plus bx plus c may have 3 cases. So that means we can discuss this in 3 cases. First case, the graph cuts x-axis at 2 distinct points, a and a dot a prime. So you can see that this quadratic equation may be like this, where it is intersecting the x-axis at 2 distinct points. That means the zeros are distinct values. In this case, this may also happen that parabola is inverted and the points are like this. Second case is that graph cuts the x-axis exactly at one point, but you know that quadratic polynomial will give at most 2 zeros. It may be possible that 2 zeros are coinciding. Okay, in this case they are coinciding because they at exactly one point, this polynomial is intersecting the x-axis at one point. That means other 0 is coinciding with this point. That means they are equal. That is at two coincident points, that is 2 points A and A prime of case 1, what we discussed in case coincide here, okay, to become 1 point. But it is sure that quadratic polynomial will have 2 zeros at most. That means they may be coinciding, they may be having the equal values. Here also situation may be like this. Now case 3. Here the graph is either completely above the x-axis or completely below the x-axis. So this may be the third situation where it is not intersecting the x-axis anywhere. So it doesn't cut the x-axis at any point. What you will do? So that means polynomial has no 0 in this case. So there may be polynomial, there may be quadratic polynomial that is not having any zeros. Okay, that means they are not intersecting x-axis at anywhere. Okay, so you can see geometrically that a quadratic polynomial can have either 2 zeros, distinct zeros, or 2 equal zeros, or no zeros. Okay, and collectively we can say that a polynomial of degree 2 or a quadratic polynomial will have at most 2 zeros. Okay, now move further. Now discuss about the case of cubic polynomial. So cubic polynomials, as I told, that they will have 3 zeros. Yes, it may be possible that one of them may be coinciding, or that means they may be equal to each other. There are different cases. So let us take this case, y is equal to x cube minus 4x. So if we draw, how you can draw this? You can draw this by substituting the different values of x, and you will get the corresponding value of y. Let us suppose that you are putting the value of -2. So you can ask, sir, why you are starting from -2? Dear students, you can start from many points. You can start from giving the value of any value of x. So for simplification, in this textbook it is starting from -2. You can start from -5 also. You will have more number of points. In this case it is having only 5 points. If you start from -5, if you start from -7, or if you are starting by giving the fraction value of x, correspondingly you will get the fraction value of y, or it may not fraction, it may be some real number. So depending on the quadratic equation, cubic equation, in this equation it will give the corresponding value of y. So here in this table, so 5 values of x are taken. So correspondingly you are having the y values. So you can see that for this and for this there are 3 values of x for which y yields to 0. That means these 3 values of x are the zeros of the cubic polynomial. Okay, so let us plot this graph. Let us plot this cubic polynomial on the graph. So after plotting this by giving the different values of x and taking the corresponding value of y, you get this shape. Okay, so you can see that the y is intersecting at 3 points of x-axis. First point here, second point here, and third point here. Okay, so you can say that the given cubic polynomial is having 3 zeros, or you can say that the y, that is, you can say that polynomial is intersecting the x axis at 3 point. Okay, so that is the way of expressing the zeros of any cubic polynomial on the graph. So you can also learn this by taking the different example. So consider the cubic polynomial x cube and x cube minus x square. Friends, by these examples you can also learn that these particular examples are not unnecessary given. They are very wonderful examples, and you can also watch very carefully how their graph is coming out, how they are representing on the graphs. That means what forms, what shape they have. Like this, suppose you are given y is equal to x cube. So this is a simple cubic polynomial, and if you plot this on the graph paper, you will get this type of shape. This type of shape. So how you are getting this? If you put the values of x equal to 0, you will get y is equal to 0. So first point. And if you give x is equal to 0.5, so you will get y is equal to 0.5 whole cube. Okay, that means 0.125. So that means y is not intersecting, y is having some value here. So similarly, if you are giving x is equal to 1, y is equal to 1, and x is equal to 2, y is equal to 8. I told you that give the fraction value of x, so that to check why it is taking directly this shape, because there are many points in between x is equal to 0 and x is equal to 1. Okay, so to give the proper shape of this graph, you should check small value of x in between these two values, x is equal to 0 and x is equal to 1, so that it can take the proper shape. Otherwise, if you give x is equal to 1, so you can also directly draw like this straight line and this. So that will not the proper way of drawing the graph. So for giving the proper shape of any polynomial, you should check the small values so that it can take the proper shape, right? So how beautifully it is taking the shape. So similarly, if you are taking the minus value of x, so it will give the other side of this graph. Okay now. Similarly, take the case of x cube minus x square. So this is also a different kind of cubic polynomial, x cube minus x square, and you can see that here zeros of the polynomial is x is equal to 0, because for given only 0 value x is equal to 0, it is intersecting at the x axis, giving the y is equal to 0. Okay, but for this case x cube minus x square give the value of x equal to 1, so it becomes 0. That means for value of 1, the y is equal to 0. For value of 0, x is equal to 0, y is also 0. That means 2 points. But in between the 2 points, there are many points. So to know the exact shape of this graph, you must give the value of x in between the 0 and 1. So you can check, you can see in this textbook, it has drawn very fantastic way that it is taking like this shape like this. Okay now. And after giving the higher values of x like 2 and minus 2, you are getting this standard shape of this graph. So these are the way of representing the zeros of any polynomial on the graph. So, friends, I hope that you are getting points, and you can draw any polynomial on the graph by giving the different values of x, and you have to check that where it is giving y is equal to 0. That first target is also that we have to check for what value of x the polynomial is becoming 0. That means we have to find the zeros of the polynomial. So by table plotting the graph, you can find through the graph that zeros of the polynomial, and that is other way of saying is that where the polynomial is intersecting the x-axis, right? So these are the way of explanation. Now remark: in general, given a polynomial px of degree n, the graph can be written as y is equal to px intersect the x-axis at n points. So if you are generalizing that linear polynomial is intersecting the x-axis at 1 point, quadratic polynomial is intersecting the x-axis at 2 points, at most 2 points, and cubic polynomial is intersecting the x-axis at 3 points or at most 3 points. So if you generalize this concept that if you are having the polynomial of n degree, so it may intersect the x-axis if the polynomial is given in terms of y is equal to px, right? So it will intersect the x-axis at n points, maximum n points. Okay, that's why at most n points. Therefore a polynomial px of degree n has at most n zeros. Okay, so let us take the example 1. Look at the graph figure number 2.9. Below each is the graph of y is equal to px, where px is a polynomial. So for each of the graph, find the number of zeros. So very simple, you can find easily zeros. Find the number of 0 means how many times the y is intersecting the x-axis. Here you can say it is intersecting 1 time, so 0 is 1. Here it is intersecting 2 times, so 2 zeros. Here intersecting 3 times, so 3 zeros. Here it is intersecting only 1 times. Here it is not intersecting x-axis, it is intersecting y-axis, because polynomial is given in y is equal to px, so it should intersect x-axis. Okay, so it only 1 degree, 1 zeros in this case. Now here it is also intersecting at 1 point. So it may be like that ki it may be, because this is parabolic shape, it may be the quadratic equation and it is having 2 coincided zeros, but the at most you will tell 1 zeros. Here 1 2 3 4 zeros, that means it is intersecting 4 places at x-axis. So similarly you can find, right? Exercise number 2.1. So students, you can do this exercise because I have explained each and every step very clearly. So my purpose is to explain the concept crystal clear, and my purpose is also how to study a textbook. My purpose is that I want to teach you how to study the textbooks. Okay, so if you start studying the textbook systematically, you will get each and every concept clear. There will be no doubt. If there is any doubt, so let me know in the comment box. I will help you. I am available for you. Okay, so don't hesitate, please ask me, and also provide some comment so that I can know that you are enjoying the video lecture or what kind of you have feeling. So let us take the first question. Graphs of y is equal to px are given in this whole figure number 2.10 for some polynomial px. So you should first note that this is given y is equal to px. It is not given x is equal to py. Means mark it. it is given y is equal to px. That means graph should intersect the x axis so that we can have the zeros of the polynomial. If it is given, suppose x is equal to py, then in that case graph should intersect y axis to have the zeros of the polynomial. Okay, so you should mark it that graph is y is equal to px. So it is asking find the number of zeros of this px. So here it is not intersecting any x-axis, no zero. Here it is intersecting at one point. It is intersecting x-axis at one point. So 1 0. Here it is intersecting 3 places. So 3 0. Here it is intersecting 2 places at 2 places. So 2 zeros. Here it is intersecting 4 places. So 4 zeros. Here intersecting 1 2 3. So 3 places. So 3 zeros. Okay. Now relationship between zeros and coefficients of a polynomial. So in the starting, I discussed about the linear polynomial, that there is a certain relationship between the zeros of a polynomial with the constant and coefficients of x-axis. So we want to generalize the case. So because if it is not given the linear polynomial, maybe it is quadratic polynomial, maybe it is cubic polynomial, then what type of relationships they are having zero, and that means there is any relationship between the zeros of the polynomial with their coefficients and constants. So let us check. Certainly there is some relationship. So let us evaluate those relationships. So we already know that linear polynomial having the relationship like this, minus b by a, that is minus of the constants divided by the coefficients of x-axis, coefficients of x. Now let us take the quadratic polynomial. So if this is the quadratic polynomial, px is equal to 2x square minus 8x plus 6. So you can get the factors by two way, splitting the middle term, and you can also do this by the remainder theorem. So it is easy to do this by the splitting the middle term. So 6 into 2, that gives 12. So you have to factor this 12 such a way that the sum or difference becomes minus 8. So 1 and 12 is the factor, 2 and 6 is the factor. So we see that this minus 2 and 6 gives the exact relation we can have. So 2x square minus 6x minus 2x plus 6. So we get this, and after solving this we get this. That means we are having this. That means this px can be written as 2 into x minus 1 into x minus 3. That means there are 3 factors of this polynomial. That means there are how much? At least 2 zeros of this polynomial, because this is quadratic polynomial, so it will have 2 zeros. Okay, those 2 zeros is x is equal to 1 and x is equal to 3. So this is constant. So we have 2 zeros. Okay, now these zeros of this is 1 and 3. Observe, we can write this in such a manner in terms of the ratio of the coefficients and coefficients of x and x square. So sum of zeros, so let us check what it gives. 1 plus 3, that gives 4, and 4 can be written as minus of minus 8 by 2. That is ultimately want to fit it in the ratios in the fraction form of the coefficients of x and x square. So we see that is equivalent to the coefficient minus of coefficient of x divided by coefficient of x square. Similarly, product of its zeros, that is 1 into 3 that can be written as 6 by 2. So constant term here 6 by 2 coefficient of x square. So that means for a given quadratic polynomial, their summation of the zeros, zero is nothing but the roots. Okay, so summation of the roots can be given by the minus of the coefficient of x divided by the coefficient of x square, and the product of the roots is equal to the constant term divided by the coefficient of x square. So we will generalize this. Similarly, we can do this for this. So you do by self. Now take the general case. Okay, now suppose there is a quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c is a quadratic equation equal to 0. If you equate equal to 0, then it will be a polynomial equation, otherwise it will be polynomial. So let us equate to 0, so it becomes polynomial equation. And suppose they are having two roots or two zeros. First is x is equal to alpha and second is x is equal to beta. Okay, so that means there are two factors, x minus alpha and x minus beta with some constant. So ax square plus bx plus c can be written as k into x minus alpha into x minus beta, where k is a constant. So after simplification, we can write this in terms of kx square minus k alpha plus beta x plus k alpha beta. Okay, and now we are having ax square plus bx plus c. So equating the LHS and RHS, and after inspecting the coefficients of x square x on both sides, we see that coefficients of x square is equal to a is equal to k, and coefficient of x is equal to b is equal to minus k alpha plus beta, and constant c is equal to k alpha beta. So after simplification, we see that b can be written as b is equal to minus a alpha plus beta after substituting the values of this k. So we get this is nothing but this. So alpha plus beta is equal to minus b by a. Similarly, after substituting the values of k is equal to a, we get this. So ultimately we are having this. That means the summation of the two zeros of the quadratic polynomial can be given in the fraction form, and that is equal to minus of the coefficient of x divided by coefficient of x square, and their product, that means product of zeros of the quadratic polynomial is equal to the constant divided by the coefficient of x square. Okay, so remember this is important relationships. Similarly, so you can do this exercise, this also. So for you let us do this. Example number 3. Find the zeros of the polynomial x cube minus 3. X square minus 3. This is polynomial x square minus 3, and verify the relationship between the zeros and the coefficients. So x square minus 3 can be written in terms of x minus square root 3 into x plus square root 3. So there are two factors of this polynomial. So this can be written as this. So let us, this is px. So that means there are two zeros of this polynomial, x is equal to square root 3 and x is equal to minus square root 3. So two zeros. So as per the relationship, the sum of the zeros can be given by the coefficient of x, where we have to verify this whether it is coming equal to coefficient of x divided by the coefficient of x or not. So square root 3 minus square root 3, that gives 0, and we can also know by inspecting the equation, we see that coefficient of x is nothing but 0, minus 0 divided by coefficient of x square, that is 1, that is equal to 0. So this is true. First, now product of 0, that is given by c by a, that is constant term divided by the coefficient of x square. So first product gives minus 3. So it is coming equal to minus 3 or not? Constant term is minus 3 divided by the coefficient of x square, that is 1, is equal to minus 3. So we see that from both sides this is verifying the relationship between the zeros and the coefficients. Similarly, you can do this for this quadratic polynomial. Find a quadratic polynomial, the sum and product of whose zeros are given. Actually it is given alpha plus beta is equal to 3 minus 3, alpha beta is equal to 2. So we can find the alpha and beta with the help of this. Can you calculate alpha and beta? From here you can calculate alpha is equal to 2 by beta. Here you put 2 by beta plus beta is equal to minus 3. So you get beta values, and after getting beta values you get alpha values. So you get the alpha and beta values. So there are two factors, x minus alpha into x plus alpha, x minus alpha, x minus beta. So you will get the quadratic polynomial. So here it is saying, so one quadratic polynomial which fits the given condition is this. So here we will assume that constant is equal to 1. Now move on and we check that for a given cubic polynomial. Let us take the cubic polynomials. So cubic polynomial is the polynomial for which the highest exponent of the variable is 3. So this is cubic polynomial. 2x cube minus 5x square minus 14x plus 8. So for this we want to get the relationship between the zeros and the coefficients of this x cube, x square, x and so on. So as we did in the previous case that we find the relationship between the zeros and their coefficients, similarly we will do this for this cubic polynomial also. So let us check p x is equal to 0 for x is equal to 4, minus 2, 1 by 2. So that is there are 3 zeros of this given polynomial. So now let us write the sum of the zeros. So 4 plus minus 2 plus 1 by 2, we get 5 by 2. That can be written as minus 5 into minus 5 by 2, and which gives the minus of coefficient of x square by x cube. So you can see that as we are increasing towards the increasing exponent of the variables, so here note this that the coefficient of x is and coefficient of here denominator is, there is a relation. We always write the term for which the coefficient exponent is 1 less than the exponent of the denominator. That means here if it is x square, so in the denominator we write the x cube. Earlier we also do that. So in that case we took the coefficient of x divided by the coefficient of x square, right now, in case of the summation of the zeros. So here also it is coming like that so coefficient of x square divided by coefficient of x cube and the product of the zeros. So minus constant term divided by coefficient of x cube, highest, and this is constant. Okay, but note that this here minus sign is coming in the cubic polynomial. Okay, further we will take in pair of the zeros of the polynomials. That means if there are 3 zeros, so we will take zeros alpha, beta, gamma, then we will take in pair like alpha, beta, beta, gamma, and gamma, alpha. So let us took the 2 at a time. So after multiplication of the 2 zeros, then summation plus other 2 zero, multiplication of other 2 zeros and plus other 2 zero, we see that alpha beta plus beta gamma plus gamma alpha can be given by the coefficient of x divided by coefficient of x cube. Here there is no sign or negative sign, only the positive signs are here. So in general it can be proved that if alpha, beta and gamma are the zeros of the cubic polynomials ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d, then we can write alpha plus beta plus gamma is equal to minus b by a, alpha beta plus beta gamma plus gamma alpha is equal to c by a, and the product of all the three zeros alpha, beta, gamma is equal to minus d by a. So remember this relation also. That means now you have the control over how to write a quadratic equations, cubic equations if you are given the zeros. Suppose if you are given the zeros of the quadratic polynomial, so the quadratic polynomial can be written as x square plus alpha plus beta x plus alpha beta is equal to 0. Okay. So if you are given the zeros are roots of a quadratic equation, then you can write the quadratic equation in this form. Okay. So similarly you can also write the cubic equation by the help of these identities. Now example 5. Verify that 3 minus 1 minus 1 by 3 are the zeros of the cubic polynomial 3x cube minus 5x cube minus 5x square minus 11x minus 3. So you have to prove that the given numbers 3 minus 1 minus 1 by 3 are the zeros of this cubic polynomial. For that, what you will do? You will first verify whether after substituting the values for x is equal to 3, x is equal to minus 1 and x is equal to minus 1 by 3, the polynomial becomes 0 or not. So let's check. P at 3 is equal to 0, p minus 1 is equal to 0, and p at x is equal to minus 1 by 3 is again 0. So you can solve this calculations. Therefore 3 minus 1 and minus 1 by 3 are the zeros of this cubic polynomial, and also then verify the relationship between the zeros and the coefficients. So this is cubic equation, cubic polynomial. So you have to verify that alpha plus beta plus gamma is equal to what? This minus b by a, and alpha beta plus beta gamma plus gamma alpha is equal to c by a, and alpha beta gamma is equal to minus d by a. So keep in that in your mind, and after that prove that alpha plus beta plus gamma is equal to this, and this is equal to minus b by a. See that these are following the relationship between the zeros and the coefficients. Now let us do the exercise number 2.2. So first problem is find the zeros of the following quadratic polynomials and verify the relationship between the zeros and the coefficients. So you have to do the two things. First you have to verify the zeros of the quadratic polynomial and find करना है. You have to find the zeros of the quadratic polynomial and then verify the relationship between the zeros and the coefficients. So let us find the zeros of this quadratic polynomial. So let us solve this x square minus 2x minus 8. So how can you do that? X square minus 2x minus 8. So after splitting you can write this as x square 8. So you have to factor the 8 in such a way that you get the summation or subtraction equal to minus 2. So factor is equal to 2 into 4, 1 into 8. So I think minus 4x plus 2x minus 8. So after taking x common out, x minus 4 plus 2x minus 4 implies that x plus 2 and x minus 4. So these are the factors of the given polynomial, and two zeros are x is equal to minus 2 and x is equal to 4. And now you have to verify these are the zeros of the given polynomial. Now you have to verify whether they are following the relationship between the zeros and the coefficients or not. So what are the relationship? So relationship is that summation of the two zeros is equal to minus b by a, and product of two zeros is equal to c by a. So where a is equal to, in this equation, a is equal to 1, b is equal to minus 2 and c is equal to minus 8. So you can verify that alpha plus beta is equal to 2, minus 2 plus 4 is equal to minus b, b is equal to minus 2, a is equal to 1. So 2 is equal to 2. So it is satisfying the relationship between the zeros and the coefficient. And alpha beta is equal to minus 8, and after substituting in the coefficient c by a, c is equal to minus 8, a is equal to 1. So we see that these two are equal. Similarly you can do for other problem also. So try to solve this problem. If you are having any difficulties, let me know in the comment. I will solve you let me know in the comment. I will solve for you. Okay friends. So division algorithm for polynomial. What is division algorithm for polynomial? So we know that a cubic polynomial has at most 3 zeros. However, if you are given only 1 zero, so can you find the other 2 zeros? Yes, we can find, because if you are given 1 zero, that means you are given that one factor of the cubic polynomial is known. So by dividing the cubic polynomial by the given factor, you can get the quadratic equation, and after solving the quadratic equation you can get the 2 zeros or 2 roots of the quadratic equations. So ultimately you will be able to know the other 2 zeros if you are given the 1 zeros of a cubic polynomial. So let us understand how can we do that. So let us consider the cubic polynomial x cube minus 3x square minus x plus 3. So if you are given that x is equal to 1 is 0 of this cubic polynomial, that means x minus 1 is a factor of this cubic polynomial. So by dividing by this, we can reduce this cubic polynomial into quadratic polynomial. So this is how by this. Suppose you have to divide this cubic polynomial by x minus 1, x cube minus 3x square minus x plus 3. After division, you will get this. Okay. So try to divide, because if I do each and every step, so it will take more time. So you can do that. So ultimately we have this. So after simplification of this square root, x square minus 2x minus 3, so this can be written as x square minus 3x plus x minus 3. So x minus 3 plus x minus 3. So ultimately there are two factors, x plus 1 and x minus 3, these factors. So we are in a position to know that there are three zeros, x is equal to minus 1, x is equal to 3, and other is already given, x is equal to 1. Example number 6 you can do by self. Example number 7 also you can do, because if you are having any difficulty in dividing the polynomial by the other polynomial of lesser degree, so you can watch the previous video lecture, for what I am providing the link in the description as well as in the right corner of this screen. By pressing the I button, you can watch the earlier video lecture on the polynomial. Okay friends, so we see that dividend is equal to the quotient into divisor plus remainder. So our purpose is to know what is the division algorithm. So px and gx are any two polynomials where gx is not equal to 0, then we can find polynomial qx and rx such that px can be given by gx into qx plus rx. That means gx is the divisor, px is the dividend, and qx is the quotient, and rx is the remainder. So in this way we can write the polynomial in terms of the dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder, where rx is equal to either 0 or is having the degree less than the degree of the divisor. So that is the must condition. So this result is known as the division algorithm for polynomials. So friends, you do the exercise 2.3, 2.4, and if you have any difficulties, please let me in the comment, and if time permit, I will make a different video lecture on this exercise 2.3 and 2.4, because this is the lengthy exercise, it takes more time. Now summary of the video lecture. So friends, in this video lecture we have studied about the polynomials and recap of the previous chapter on the polynomial given in the class 9th. So in this chapter we studied that polynomials of degree 1, 2, 3 are called linear, quadratic and cubic polynomials respectively. That means if the polynomial is having the 1 degree, that will be called linear polynomial. If it is having 2 degree, that is quadratic polynomial. If it is having 3 degree, then the cubic polynomials. A quadratic polynomial in x with real coefficients is of the form ax square plus bx plus c, where a, b, c are the real numbers with a should not be equal to 0. So this is the standard equation for the quadratic polynomial, or if you get this polynomial to 0, then it becomes the quadratic equations. Now the zeros of a polynomial px are precisely the x coordinate of the points where the polynomial y is equal to px intersects the x axis. Okay, so this is the graphical representation of the zeros of the polynomial as we discussed in the video lecture. Now the quadratic polynomial can have at most 2 zeros, cubic polynomial can have at most 3 zeros, and linear polynomial will have at most 1 zeros. So if alpha and beta are the zeros of the quadratic polynomial ax square plus bx plus c, then alpha plus beta is given by minus b by a, and alpha beta is given by c by a. So any quadratic equation you can write by replacing this. If alpha, beta and gamma are the zeros of the cubic polynomial, then alpha plus beta plus gamma is equal to minus b by a. Alpha beta plus beta gamma plus gamma is alpha is equal to c by a, and their products alpha beta gamma is equal to minus d by a. And division algorithm, that if a polynomial px is divided by gx, and then there will be two other polynomials qx and rx, such that px is equal to gx into qx plus rx, where rx is either 0 or will be having the degree lesser than the degree of the divisor. Okay, so friends, these are the things which I covered in this video lecture. Friends, if you have not subscribed this iAcademy channel till now, please subscribe this channel, because we used to bring such type of video lecture on the different topics. So that will be beneficial for you, and you will get to know beforehand as we upload the new videos. So friends, thank you for watching.